if you want. You could come with me and we could stop there and see if we can get in. Because I can't get in by myself. Or else I'd do it for you. So hey guys, Lucky Red here. Playing a little bit of the Avengers. You know what? I see like a handful of boys on there. So I'm gonna say hi. It's gonna be great. And I realize I gotta switch my audio settings while I'm at it. All this while on stream. This is great. Reminds me of when we first started. There we go.
You do it all the time. What are you talking
Not.
about?
I screw with my party settings sometimes. Yeah. What's up, Andy?
How you doing?
I'm pretty good. What do you think? What do you think of the dominant white? I'm kind of torn on it. I got a new cap suit in Marvel's Avengers, and like I'm torn on it because it's like his movie costume where he doesn't wear the mask. But it's like
not yet, comrade, not yet.
Fair enough. But instead of like the blue being the color of his entire suit, it's white, and then like the star and everything is red and blue.
Oh, that's cool.
Well,
it is cool, but like I'm really torn how I feel about it.
Technically, he said not yet, comrade, net yet.
No, there you go.
But I figured he meant not yet.
But I figured before I grabbed Jacob, we were gonna have like a wrestling day, mess around in 2K and probably watch a pay-per-view or something. I figured I'd jump on Avengers for a minute, and I was like, man, you know what? My boys are on. I'll hit them up.
Man, I had a rough couple days at work.
I bet you had to work
I
like
had to
10
tell
straight
my
days,
former
right?
boss that I'm not coming back to the department. In the last 5 months, she thought I was coming back, and I'm like, no. 'Cause
Wait.
they treat me a lot better in the department.
Oh, okay.
But I feel bad because they kept saying, yeah, I'll probably come back. And
I got you.
I don't know. I really like my new boss. He's really fucking chill.
I mean, that's good.
My old boss was a psycho half the time.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Chill, but it's official now. I'm a meat boy.
I thought you had been for like a while.
Well, it was always kind of implied that I was going to go back, but I don't know. After like my 4th or 5th day, the boss in the meat department was like, "Yeah, I want you to stay. I already know. I want you to stay." I'm like, well,
Sounds good. I want to too.
well, what I talked to him about is like, dude, I wanted to move up in this company. I never felt like I had the chance to over there. And I'm essentially the next apprentice meat cutter, so it's a long program.
It's a really weird title. I'm the apprentice meat cutter.
Well, you have to go through like a lot of training, and eventually I'm gonna have to butcher an entire goat or cow or sheep or something.
Dang.
Like they're gonna get an entire animal for me to butcher.
Yeah, so you can be an actual butcher.
But
I got
once I get done with that, I'm gonna get a $3 an hour raise.
Sweet.
And be a supervisor.
Nice.
Basically, not the title won't be supervisor. Meat cutter is the same thing though. Hey, I'm all about it. Problem is, it's a year-long program.
Gotcha.
So, Jacob just posted.
Did he?
Said, just beat Outer Worlds. Pretty fun game.
Nice. Good for him. I've heard good things about the Outer Worlds. Not for me. I don't like Fallout, and apparently it's it's similar to Fallout, but not like the same. And those kind
Aaron
of.
says nice.
Yeah, Aaron was about it. I know. Buddy Austin from work really dug it too. And then,
I always thought Fallout looked kind of cool, but never gave it a chance.
Yeah. Well, I hear Outer Worlds does it a lot better, just because it's like
Oh,
a different
I've
studio.
I've also heard that game's pretty cool.
Yeah, I hear it's very well written. Like it's a good story. Where Fallout, like especially the last few, have like failed on the story front. Like apparently that one's like, what if Fallout had a good, well written story? So if you like to play Fallout, now you can play it, but it's well made this time. But I had, the benefit of never really being a fan of Fallout, so when everybody was jumping on the bandwagon of 76, I was like, yeah, you guys have fun. And then they didn't have fun, so so it all worked out. Ended up being the worst game in the franchise by a long
Showed
shot.
them.
Aaron said not quite RPG enough.
Not quite RPG enough? Fair enough.
And then Jacob's like, how do you?
How does he know?
No, I said, how do you mean? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, that's weird, because it is an RPG.
Yeah, how do you know, Aaron?
Yeah, you mother...
The fuck's wrong with
then,
you?
Aaron said, more just like a shooter with some skills.
I mean, sure, but that's like a modern RPG, my friend.
You know how many modern games Aaron plays?
Not many, actually.
Exactly. So there you go.
My answer was going to be totally different. I was going to be like, all of them.
Yeah, all of them. All of them.
All of them.
Still the best delivered line ever. All of them.
All of them.
I love that shit.
Isaac and I worked that into
I
stupid
played a
shit that
talker,
makes
I
no
talked
sense.
my way out of a lot of situations.
It's because it's so easy to just throw in
Going to
somewhere.
Burger King, I'd like some nuggets. How many? All of them? All of them? And he just turns into Piccolo.
No, I did not hear you.
He said, Jacob said, I played a talker. I talked my way out of a lot of situations.
Yeah, this RPG for you. The hell is this? Oh, open that door. Huh.
And Isaac keeps building on my stuff when I'm not on.
Well, this time he said he was doing it to try and build things you need and help you out.
He's likes to paint everything though. He changes things.
I didn't have to shoot anyone, in fact.
When I logged in, I'm like, am I on someone's boat? Because my whole house was stone, now everything's metal.
Yeah, he was trying to reinforce it, from what I heard.
Oh.
We were talking
and
about.
then Aaron said, I did too. If you played other Obsidian games, you'd see what I mean.
I guess.
I played my first game of poker last night.
I've
Then
played
Jacob said
many
that's fair.
games of poker.
I never knew how to play. It always sounded fun, but
I'm a big player of Texas Hold'em.
we played 5-card
You
stud.
say that,
I've never
but yet
played
you
5-card
never
stud.
play it.
It's essentially the same
That
thing.
you know of.
What?
Except
I know
for
of.
all the cards being on the table, you get your own cards. No one shares
When do
cards.
you ever go freaking play? Like,
No, this is gonna sound bad, but I've always liked the politics side of card games and fucking with people. That's why I knew I was gonna be good at poker.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason it's called a poker face. It's where the term comes from.
Like, two different hands, I read one of my friends, and like, I can see right through you.
That's how you do it.
So I knew he was fucking bluffing.
Yeah, if you can figure that out, you pretty much beat that guy in poker.
And also, I
now-
won a
now
big
Aaron
hand with
said
literally nothing in there.
Planescape, for example, you don't need to equip a weapon and you can finish every quest.
He's referring to Planescape Torment. It's a really popular, very old RPG. It's one of the best ones ever made, though.
The Resistance could really use these extra supplies.
So you guys are doing a wrestling day, huh?
Yup. If you're free to join us.
Oh, I'm supposed to be going with my dad up to Silver Beach to fish off the pier at some point. I'm waiting on him to call me back.
Gotcha.
I'm waiting for like an hour.
Mm.
My dad's just like me with phones, and the fact that he hates them, and he's bad about responding.
Gotcha.
And now it's more confusing because he has 2 cell phones. Because at one point he lost his main phone and found it 2 days later after he'd already bought a new phone. He bought some cheap track phone or some shit.
Gotcha.
I don't know. For all I know, he could be up on a fucking ladder doing a electrical job at this point, though. I want a salmon. Big old fish.
freaking yesterday, because per Ash's request, we had to watch something wholesome. She was getting stressed out for various reasons last night. So we found, so you know Asuka from the WWE.
Yeah.
She has her own YouTube channel
Oh my god.
called Kana-chan, which is her name. And it's very wholesome. It's just kind of her doing normal things.
It's a vlog channel.
Yeah, it's just a vlog channel, but she's so awesome and wholesome that it's pretty great. And this video, she apparently ordered from like a fish market place around where she lives to order some crab cakes. She wanted crab cakes, and she did not get crab cakes. Instead, she got full-sized crabs and a cake. Apparently, the cake was a bonus thing. She thought she was getting crab cakes. She got crab and cake.
Yeah, crab
Where
and
was
cake.
the cake though? We never saw.
Yeah, we
the
didn't see the
cake.
cake, but the crab. So obviously, crab cakes are small, but a full-size crab is not.
Yeah.
So she got 15 things of crab, 15 full-size
I wonder how
crabs.
did she give it away?
She
or
must not have
something?
read the fucking link or
Crab.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is she's never
The
had. She
price
said she's never
is-
actually had crab before.
Well, she's had crab cake. She has.
Right, but she's never had like unprepared, like essentially raw crab. So she decided
It
to.
wasn't raw.
She said it was raw.
She said she thought it was raw. That was all cooked crab.
Okay. So yeah, so she just like they gave her like 2 hammers with their like logo on it, and she had like a shell cracker on the end of her scissors, and she just started cracking it and trying out the meat. They even gave her their own seasoning and stuff, and she said, "Man, that shit is delicious." she really liked it, and I get it because crab is very good.
Yeah, it's too sweet.
Oh, I love crab. Crabs, snow crab.
As far as like shellfish, I like shrimp.
I also like shrimp. I also like lobster, but if like crab is probably my favorite among shellfish.
I like lobster bisque soup.
Shrimp is my favorite.
I don't really like any kind of bisque soup, honestly.
You really like soup?
Did you say she doesn't like soup?
Yeah, she does not.
You're fired.
You're fired, apparently. Also, I actually told Isaac about this yesterday, that I was looking at some old WCW stuff, notorious for doing really bad or dumb stuff. But some of that dumb stuff can be so bad it's absolutely hilarious, which is far more common with WCW. So it was so most people forget that because anyone who talks about Macho Man Randy Savage are always talking about his WWE career, but he was in WCW for literally 4 years. Like, that was not a short stint he like spent in WCW. He was there for a while.
Yeah,
and held the world title like 4 times. Like, so he had no.
Or WWE did he go directly from his family's promotion to WWE, or
Yeah,
they
yes,
go
he did.
somewhere else?
No, he went from his family's promotion where he was becoming a top star, and then WWE was like, "We need that guy," and then they signed him, and then like he went
that
right
was
to
a
WWE.
great decision for them.
Yeah, like that was a great pick. I mean, if you saw him even back then, his character wasn't there yet, but like you could see that he was becoming. He already
He
created
still had the charisma. He still
Yeah.
had the fucking look.
He had the voice and everything. Yeah, he was calling himself the Macho Man, but he wasn't really the Macho Man yet.
He was a macho man.
He was a Macho Man.
He was like the song Macho. Macho.
He should have just sounded like that.
Oh, he did.
No, I mean like that should have.
That's probably how he talked in real life.
No, that was not his voice. It's far more.
He's at the
subdued.
bank. Let me tell you something. I need a loan
It
for a
should
car.
have actually sounded like that.
Yeah. So in this WCW promo, of course, WCW was notorious for letting especially the old guard. So they gave them big, high-paying contracts and gave them I forget what it's called. It's like something about their character. Basically, they got to say if they didn't want to do anything at any point.
Oh, like creative control.
Creative control, yeah. So it made it so, especially a lot of the old guard got to do whatever they wanted. So in the midst of his feud with Sting, which honestly I'd love to see a Macho Man and Sting match in their prime, because that would have been fantastic.
That would have been fucking great.
So in this promo, he cuts during what is often called, this gimmick of Macho Man's called a midlife madness, because he hung out with like 3 really hot young women and you know, who was not very young at the time. So often called midlife madness.
What, mid-40s ish?
Yeah, mid 40s. Hang out with people probably in their like mid 20s at like the oldest.
It's Macho Man. Everyone wanted to hang out with him.
Yeah, man. So it was a whole thing. But during this promo against Sting, he's like, "All I hear is you calling yourself an icon. I don't even know what that word means. Is that some kind of bird?"
Oh my god!
It's like, what? What the fuck? What are you talking about, Macho Man? I think you've literally called yourself an icon before, but apparently he thought it was a bird.
He forgot.
Yeah, he forgot.
Thought he was a type of eagle.
Yeah. What is that word?
Icon
him
eagle.
saying I don't know what that word means is already silly enough, but then him calling it a bird is absolutely hilarious.
Oh, I saw a good one. He was apparently pissed off for this.
Oh, okay.
I don't know exactly what happened, but they had to do an international interview where someone was going to translate it into Spanish after he's done.
Okay.
And he just says so much gibberish, and you can see the announcer, the guy, like, physically trying to figure out what the fuck he's saying. And he doesn't say anything, essentially.
Okay.
But he talks for about a minute and a half, and the guy's like, what? Like, it was a good promo, it sounded like him, but he didn't actually say anything.
Nice.
But you can see the Spanish dude, like,
Having no idea what to
what
do.
the fuck am I supposed to say to that? Like, it makes me want to learn a foreign language so I can cut Macho Man promos on people in Spanish.
That'd be pretty cool.
People who speak Spanish look at me like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
The cream of the crop.
I am the cream of the crop. And I'm gonna rise to
the big one. What's your overall favorite promo you've ever seen?
Oh man, that's a really hard question.
Because I've got one in mind.
Because like there's great segments, great, but I'm like promos themselves. Cody cut a damn good one on Dynamite when it first started. Of course, the classic, the like classic Hard Times promo is really good. Okay, so it's probably not my favorite, but I'm gonna say this one only because it is my most, like, I've gone back and rewatched it more than any other promo.
I swear if it's the Nasty Boys thing.
It is not the Nasty Boys promo.
It's not Steiner one.
No, it's not Steiner Math either. That
No,
one's funny.
it is.
This one I go back because it is a great promo, but it's probably not my favorite, but I've still gone back to it so many times. And that is definitely Rocky's Billy promo. So on an episode of Sunday Night Heat before their pay-per-view match of Billy Gunn versus The Rock, and of course Rock is notorious for especially when he was a face, to cut these like scathing promos where he would tear apart his competition. And like bury them essentially.
Did he do that when he was a good guy?
Oh, all the time. Well, it was the Attitude Era. It was a different time.
That's true.
They weren't working together at the time. This was when you had to get yourself over, fuck everyone else. So Billy Gunn never really became a main event guy, for like many different reasons. But in this case, they were actually.
Dad just died. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're thinking of Road Dogg. Road Dogg's dad just passed away. Bullet Bob Armstrong.
Yeah,
another famous classic wrestler.
Continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So Billy Gunn They were trying to build him up at the time. He just won King of the Ring, and he was going to go for the world title. So what do they do? So what do they do? They have Rock and him take each other on at the big pay-per-view to kind of give him some cred, because it's like a big star he's going to face.
The generator is no longer functional. If you can gain control of AIM's network temporarily, I can infiltrate their security system.
So Rocky cuts himself a nice little promo where he...
I guess it might be easier for me to do that part.
If they gain access to the terminals, you cannot let
Probably comes out and starts his typical Rock shit where he destroys them first.
Well, he does, but how he does it? He comes out,
Just use the
and so Billy Gunn isn't there. This is just like Rock cutting a promo. He comes out and starts to tell a story about Billy Gunn, who is he's basically feigns a conversation between Billy Gunn and God, talking about how he needs God's help because everyone thinks I absolutely suck. So he's like,
The Rock.
God,
Okay, we got heat on. So let's
my name's Billy, and
I bet. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to watch this.
yeah, no, I would absolutely 100% recommend finding this promo. It is
I've definitely seen
fucking
it, but I fucking love it.
so good.
So everything's good, baby.
Yeah, I figured that's what he was saying.
Yeah. He just said to check the stove in the furnace. I'm like, oh, well, it's probably easier for you to
Um,
do it.
Yeah.
I forgot all the things that are
like-
there, so I was like, oh, it'd probably be easier for me to turn the heat on.
Well, listen here, Bobby. My name's Bill. It doesn't matter what your name is. It's
oh, I think I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
it's such a good. It's like it's Rock just saying his bits,
Okay.
but like this
Yeah,
feigned
yeah.
story of Billy talking to God is just so funny.
I'm so awful.
It's so hilarious. Like, goddamn, is it a funny freaking promo? So it's probably that only because I've rewatched it so many times. Like, it's not. I don't think it even is my favorite promo, but like, I just like it's the only one I've gone back to and watched so many times because it's so funny.
See, my favorite one is basically that. But I could go back and watch it so many times. It's the cold-blooded sausage maker, Dusty Rhodes.
You check the time?
Sure. It's 11:30. The cold-blooded sausage maker. I don't know that one.
I'd send it to you.
Okay.
Just Dusty Rhodes in general. I had a
Ooh.
kick with him a while ago, and I'm like, he's so
Dusty Rhodes
fucking funny. It's so good.
Yeah, no, Dusty Rhodes is an amazing guy,
That's a
especially promo.
Like-
He is such a good promo.
That's the
Like,
rope.
he's really good in general, but like, where I think he shines the most is when he's actually playing around with people and like kind of like being
Because he's
goofy.
funky like a monkey.
Yes. I fucking love Dusty Rhodes, dude. That's why I thought it was funny you mentioned Cody Rhodes after that.
Yeah, people have said his that Cody Rhodes promo is like the modern day Dusty Rhodes, like Hard Times promo,
Aw, he's
which is
like
considered the greatest promo of all time.
Aw, he's being like his daddy.
Mm-hmm. Freaking the Hard Times promo, just like when a man can't feed his family, that is hard times. It's like it is.
That is a really good one.
Not to mention like his passion and like he's just so believable.
And I also enjoy a good Ric Flair promo.
Yeah. Oh man. His promo. Most people like go to his first time. how he's a limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun.
Ric
I
Flair.
love watching
Yeah.
him in reverse
that
too.
was-
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's very funny.
I think that's the one that everyone.
I've got to go with my favorite promo of his is after Royal Rumble '92, which also, by the way, favorite Royal Rumble of all time. Sorry, Royal Rumble '93, which he won the
I
world
remember
title
it
in.
like it was yesterday. I was
He won.
1 year old.
Yeah, I think I only know that one.
And now I've completed the greatest achievement in my career, and with a tear in my eye. It's like it's so good. It's like when they can put that passion into that shit. It just feels fantastic.
You know what? Babe? That has the same kind of vibe as the Black Widow's white suit in her movie. It's got the
In
same
her
kind of
upcoming
vibe.
movie, yeah, I get that. Trying to think of some other really good ones.
Which I want to get, but I don't want to get a lot of pop vinyls from that in case I don't like it.
So you wouldn't expect him to have one of the greatest promos of all time, but Mark Henry has one of the greatest promos of all time.
Is that when he was going to retire?
Yes.
I remember watching that. I actually watched that one live.
Yeah, where he is saying he is going, like, it is his retirement
I felt
speech.
That one really got everybody. That was
Yeah,
fun.
and it was so heartfelt, and everyone completely believed him and everything.
He's like,
and then he just
"I'm
beats the
coming
shit.
home."
Yep. And then he beats the shit out of John Cena. Perfect. Literally the perfect
It
promo.
was pretty fucking great.
Of course, Austin's King of the Ring promo.
Yeah, everyone thinks it's Stone Cold and shit like that.
You keep telling me about Psalm 3:16. Well, Austin 3:16 says I just whipped your ass. First time he ever said it.
I love the Mick Foley segment where he's all of his characters at once.
Oh, when he introduced Cactus
introduces,
Jack.
yeah.
That's good shit
I like
right
that
there.
one a lot.
That's that good shit. Fucking he comes out.
This is wacky wild dog.
Here he is, and it's like Mankind comes
Dude,
out. And he's like,
was a
I know.
fucking hilarious version of Mick Foley.
Unfortunately, I'm not as crazed or deranged enough to fight a whacked freak like Triple H, but I know one man who can. One man. And his
You don't
name...
mean? Who could it be?
It's Cactus Jack! And he like,
Who says that?
bang bang!
Baby.
Who?
That was...
Somebody slap me.
So there was a segment to introduce Cactus Jack to Monday Night Raw where Mick Foley as Dude Love interviews himself as Mankind,
He did that a
who
lot,
then
didn't he?
introduces himself.
Oh, he did that once,
No,
I think.
he's done it twice.
Okay.
The other time he's had all of his characters out on display
Was
was
it
at the
Royal
Royal
Rumble?
Rumble
Yeah, that's
when
what
they
I-
all came out together.
Yeah.
No, I want a whole talk
When he
show
kept
with Mick
coming
Foley,
in
Cactus
and-
Jack.
I would love a talk show where Dude Love, Cactus Jack, Mick Foley, and Mankind are all.
Yeah, they're all. It's like
All
a,
there.
a round table discussion about things.
Yeah, that'd be great. CM Punk's pipe
Cactus
bomb
Jack
promo.
should be a Trump supporter, and Dude Love
Oh my
should be a bleeding heart liberal.
Dude, CM Punk's pipe bomb promo. I mean,
CM Punk in general was pretty great.
oh hey, I found it. The one I was talking about earlier.
Ladies and gentlemen, you all know that Dusty Rhodes has been injured. Well, we want to welcome back tonight Dusty Rhodes for his first interview since his injury. Here is the American
That was
Dream,
the hard time
Dusty
one.
Rhodes. And Dusty, your
His first
fans
return in
welcome you
Mid-Atlantic
back, man.
Wrestling.
First of all, I would like to thank the many, many fans throughout this country that wrote cards and letters to Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, while I was down. Secondly, I want to thank Jim Crockett Promotions for waiting and taking the time because I know how important it was. Starcade 85 it is to the wrestling fans, it is to Jim Crockett Promotions. And Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, with that weight, got what I wanted. Ric Flair, the world's heavyweight champion. I don't have to say a lot more about the way I feel about Ric Flair. No respect, no honor. There is no honor among thieves in the first place. He put hard times on Dusty Rhodes and his family. You don't know what hard times are, Daddy. Hard times are when the textile workers around this country are out of work. They got 4 or 5 kids and can't pay their wages, can't buy their food. Hard times are when the auto workers are out of work and they tell them go home. And hard times are when a man has worked at a job 30 years. 30 years. They give him a watch, kick him in the butt, and say, hey, a computer took your place, Daddy. That's hard time. That's hard time. And Ric Flair, you put hard times on this country by taking Dusty Rhodes out. That's hard time. And we all had hard times together. I admit I don't look like the athlete of the day supposed to look. My belly's just a little big. My hand is just a little big. But brother, I am bad and they know I'm bad. And there were 2 bad people. One was John Wayne and he's dead, brother. And the other was right here. Nature Boy Ric Flair. The world's heavyweight title belongs to these people. I'm gonna reach out right now. I want you at home to know my hand is touching your hand for this gathering of the biggest body of people in this country, in this universe, all over the world now. Reach it out. Because the love that was given me in this time, I will repay you now. Because I will be the next world's heavyweight champion on this hard time blues. Dusty Rhodes Tour 85 and Ric Flair, Nature Boy. Let me leave you with this. One way to hurt Ric Flair is to take what he cherishes more than anything in the world. That's the world's heavyweight title. I'm gonna take it. I've been there twice. This time when I take it, Daddy, I'm gonna take it for you. Let's gather for it. Don't let me down now, because I came back for you, for that man up there that died 10, 12 years ago and never got the opportunity to see a real Wolf champion. And I'm proud of you, and thank God I have you. And I love you. Love you!
The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes fans.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it like the best, but I love freaking Paul Bearer's promos in general.
Of course, Randy Savage's cream of the crop promo.
Ooh, you'll have to fight my Undertaker.
You'll have to fight the Undertaker. Oh.
That shit.
That's supposed to be,
It's Paul Bearer.
okay, yeah, he had rest.
They could have come up with a better name. I never liked his name.
Paul Bearer?
I thought that was so stupid.
Some promotions just call him by his name, and I think that's worse.
Well, what's his Percy?
Percy Pringle.
Yeah, that's not great either.
Yeah, that's his name. Percy Pringle.
Okay, fine. Paul Bearer's a little, tiny bit better than that.
You're more of a fan of the Sinister Minister, Sinman?
Like the name.
He would also.
Uncle Cinnamon. To you.
I'm trying to think what was his other name he would go by. Oh, the Reverend Paul. God, the Reverend. Shit. What did he call himself?
You always look it up.
I'm trying to remember.
E Dangerously?
Paul E. Dangerously. No, it's like the Reverend. Something Mitchell's. I can't remember. He was Abyss's manager.
I heard they put Roman Reigns with Paul with
Paul Heyman, yeah.
Yeah.
He manages him now.
Dude, that makes me actually want to watch wrestling.
Yeah, people are pretty hyped on it. Funny thing is, SmackDown, which is what he's on, is actually winning in the ratings now over Raw. Raw's not even is doing way worse than SmackDown.
I've wanted to hate Roman Reigns for a long time. I never liked Roman Reigns.
Sure.
But this is perfect. It's the
I
same
definitely
with...
used to hate him, but I've not really felt strongly since then. Huh?
Paul Heyman?
No, Roman Reigns.
Oh.
No, Paul Heyman's just
Savage.
like he's
Paul Heyman's great.
He's
Oh
such
man,
a shit
Miz's
talker.
Talking Smack promo. If you saw that.
Actually, I don't think I did.
So like 2016 or so, right after the brand split. SmackDown had a post-show interview segment called Talking Smack, hosted by Renee Young and Daniel Bryan, because this was when he couldn't wrestle yet.
Oh wait, I've heard about this. I've never actually heard this one.
So Miz, who of course kind of fans are like iffy about, still today, like was
I never
finally
liked
had.
him.
I was actually a big fan back like for a long time, and then this justified it because then he cut this promo because they didn't script people on this show, and this dude could talk.
There's no gentle way to say it. To me, you wrestle like a coward. You wrestle like somebody who's afraid to get hit. Like,
I wrestle like a coward.
You wrestle like a coward.
I'm the one.
If I were to create a wrestler who, to me, like embodies,
I love that
like when I was an
Renee Young looks
independent guy,
visibly
and I was thinking like,
uncomfortable
oh,
about this.
okay, what's the soft WWE style? It would be that.
No,
WWE
it's
is
the-
transformed in the last.
Hold on.
Andy, you motherfucker.
You're the one that called me a coward in the wrestling ring. I'm the coward in the wrestling ring.
Yeah.
But let's talk
Thanks
about
for the
cowards
wall.
for 1 second. The reason I wrestle the way I wrestle is because I can do it day in and day out all the time for 10 plus years. I have never in my career ever have been injured. I don't get injured for 6 months to a year. I am here each and every week. But you sit there and call me a coward? Yeah. I'm the coward. Wait, let me tell you about a coward. Let me tell you about a guy who tells his WWE fans, the people that he loves, that he will be back. He promises them. I promise you, I will be back in 1 year's time to claim this title. But you didn't, Daniel, did you? But I'm the coward. I'm the one that doesn't love the fans.
If they would let me come back, I would come back.
Oh, if you would?
Yeah.
You would. You love that WWE ring. You love wrestling. You love being right in that wrestling ring, and you love wrestling, right? Well, why don't you quit? Why don't you quit and go to the bingo halls with your indie?
Okay, I think you need to calm. That's not what this show's about.
GM, have this. Thank you very much, Renee. This is a great show, but we're talking here. I need to talk to you real quick because the fact is, you're the one that calls me the coward, but you're the one that doesn't get in the WWE ring again. No, don't you walk away from me, Daniel. Don't you walk away. I'm the one that loves the fans. I'm the one that loves everyone and everything. You're the one that gets up and walks away every single time. You're the coward. I am not a coward. I am your Intercontinental Champion, and there's a reason I am the title. Reason making this the most relevant, prestigious title that WWE has, and I deserve the respect on SmackDown Live. Get that camera right here. Get that camera right here. Understand that this is day 141 of the never-ending Intercontinental Championship World Tour, and I swear to you, I promise you, it will be the most relevant title on SmackDown Live. I can care less about those little kids on for the tag team titles and the Women's Championship and the WWE Championship. This is my show. My show. And I'm sick of all of you, my GM, sitting there criticizing me, calling me the coward. You're the cowards. I'm the one here, day in and day out, in that wrestling ring, beating people up. Thank you very much.
Well, damn.
Jesus Christ, what did I fucking walk into?
We're talking wrestling promos.
Well, I got that. I caught on very quick there.
So we were trying to think of some of the best, and I forgot one of the best was Miz's promo on Talking Smack, where he was completely unscripted, and just when directly being insulted by.
I'm the one who loves everyone.
I know, I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I don't care about those little kids in the tag team division. He could have just ended there with the funniest shit he's ever said.
So I owe you an apology, Andy, because well, no, you are already aware of what I have done to your base.
I like it.
Well, so we were talking about we need a base near where the dragons spawn. And we found, we found this base you had been working on. We're like, well, he's already got this.
There is one.
And so, like, I was like, well, what if we just replace the stone building pieces with metal building pieces? No biggie, right? You know, that's not anything too big. and then like, kind of a bunch of shit happened. Like, I accidentally destroyed your industrial forge.
There wasn't probably that much in it.
No, and I
It's
got
hard
whatever.
to gather metal in that area.
Oh no, we actually found exactly where to gather metal. However,
in the fucking Griffin Trench.
No, it's actually in the middle of the lake on one of the rocks.
Oh, there's a metal. See, I didn't have a boat there. Now I have I actually drove my boat up. Which
you need an Argentavis.
I have one.
Specifically, it's better if you have 2 people so you can have someone to like drill. But yeah, there's
you guys got a bunch of high-level griffins and thorny dragons too.
That would all be Joe. My big thing today or yesterday was building this base, or rebuilding, as it were. That was the big thing I did. I did help with the griffins, and I.
Did you guys even use the trap that I set up?
No, they didn't.
No. We literally, Joe just walked into the trench and started shooting shit, and I followed in after him, and did some of the stupidest fucking shit.
See, I go in there with a pterodon, find the highest level one, then fly to the trap, but okay.
Well, we went the opposite direction from where your trap is. So like, you know the part of the base, the actual base part of the base, not the enclosure.
Yeah.
The direction that's pointing in. We went the opposite direction from that. And followed the river around till we could get into the trench. So yeah, in the complete opposite direction of where your trap was. Also, keep in mind, we had no flyers at this point in time.
Oh, well, I've left them all over the map.
Well, we didn't want to. We borrowed your Argentavis for a bit to collect metal, but we didn't want to accidentally get him killed because he seemed to be a pretty strong Argentavis.
Here's the thing: the difficulty being so high, everything's going to be that strong.
Not everything I seem to find. I found this really dope Tech Rex. It was like
it 20 or something.
It was 24.
Wow.
I also knocked out, what was it? I think I got one Argentavis knocked out, and it was like level 15. And I'm like, dog.
That's a wyvern.
Oh, I found out those wyvern up by the Griffin Trench. Those wyverns shoot water at you.
Oh, well, I encountered a blood wyvern at one point, a couple points, and they suck your blood.
Yeah, Joe has run into them before. I have not run into them yet.
I haven't actually even killed one yet, which kinda...
Unfortunately, I ran into those wyvern completely unintentionally when I very intentionally walked into the wyvern cave. I was on my griffin, so I got out of there. Oh, and thanks to Sarah, we have shit tons of raw materials, like mixtures made.
She said she made a bunch of health brew.
She made a bunch of health brew. I believe she also made, fuck tons of spark powder. There's a good chunk of gunpowder in here as well. Like, that's pretty much what she did yesterday.
Right.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. There's got to be like 30 or 40,000 spark powder in here, if not more. And about 16,000 gunpowder. So yeah, she definitely came in and did a ton of shit. But then like, you hadn't got on last night, and Joe got off and didn't get back on. And we're like, well, what do we do? Because me and Sarah are kind of the make shit people. We're not the, go out and do shit people.
Well, now you had to learn.
Well, it's not that I can't. It's that I'm normally like, I'm a support guy in this game. I build the bases. and
All
make
right.
stupid shit.
So I thought of something, Zach. You were still interested in me streaming this Rags to Riches, so
Of course.
you have to do it with me.
Oh, alright.
And we're gonna start our own tribe and be at war with Isaac and Finley.
Okay.
After I just like built up your base for you.
Yep. You can have 2 characters.
Well, that's fair. Although
I'm gonna start a new character. We're both gonna start off at level 1.
Sure.
in complete fairness, yeah, I also felt kind of bad because I like realized at a certain point, because I just got carried away after a certain point of fixing shit, like replacing the forge, and then I turned it into this like fucking monstrosity.
I like how you did this. This is how I build my bows. I always build my bows with this like.
Yeah, so
usually do.
So originally this was just like you had your staircase here, right? Like just a little bit below where we're standing.
There was a reason for the thing being set up that way, though. I had it set up so you could get to the forge and then drop down on the ladder and drop the metal.
Oh, so I had a similar thing where,
amounts.
and we can do this right now. I think we have the materials. I was just gonna build an elevator.
I was just gonna build a bunch of metal, then destroy it, and destroy the floor around it. No.
No.
So you have the grill sticking out of the house, but it kind of looks like an A. Kind of like that.
Oh, that works out. And actually, I saw that at a certain point. I just didn't fucking feel like fixing it. I was like, whatever. It does look like an A. It's Andy's house.
Right.
Actually, now you pointed out, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I rebuilt this enclosure twice because the first time I made it pretty small, and I was like, well, I can't really fit like more than a couple of like thorny dragon sized guys in here. So I rebuilt it again, but like wider. And I was like, I still don't really have enough room. And on top of that, there's like a really big like gap between Joe's boat and the gate. So like if he's trying to get in and out real quick, he can't do that too easy.
Yeah.
So then I rebuilt
my boat?
Yes, I actually found it yesterday over by the Wyvern Cave. I used it as a reference. I really like this boat, dude.
I kind of thought you would.
Partly because you also like borrowed some of my old design from one of my last boats.
The pointed front, but yeah, pretty much. The thing is, with how many fucking leads there are, I want the guns to be on at all times, so I only built one generator.
But no, I was specifically talking about how you built the ramps on the sides to make it look kind of like a submarine.
Yeah. I was thinking military boat.
Because you remember I had, the Royale with cheese.
Well, I was thinking about putting a cannon right up here at the corner.
The sad thing about cannons is they're anti-building equipment. They don't really do anything against... Like, you can use them against dinos and stuff.
I want to use it to kill a lead, because the leads sit on top of the goddamn water and you can get within range of them. Just blast
fire!
And save some fucking ammo for myself.
Yeah, but those cannonballs are fucking expensive to make. They take a lot of steel to make. Oh yeah, so real quick, grab your griffin and follow me. I had to come up with a name.
Man of fancy meats. Do you like pastrami?
Pastrami?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like pastrami.
I've been getting it at work. It's fucking crazy good.
Yeah, it's one of those meats that like we cut it fairly regularly, and I'd like when I was at the Martin's Deli, and I'd munch some of it.
I mean, it's basically roast beef, but
I see you leveled up Joe's Griffin. I've been leaving that one alone because I figured Joe would want the strongest one he got. So I grabbed this one, which he might still prefer because, to be honest, this one looks really sick. but is significantly weaker.
Because I had gotten mine was 150, I think, when I tamed it. Like I got a really strong one. But...
Nice. But yeah, go ahead and jump on one of the Griffins, and I'll show you where to get metal. It's really easy, but again, you kind of need an Argentavis.
I mean, there's bring mine down here, I guess.
This is super fucking dense rich metal. We did 2 trips. I don't think we even busted one of the nodes, and we ended up with like 14,000 raw metal.
Of course, come on.
Let me know when you have it.
What if we just built a really tall boat with a forge on top of it?
Okay,
I mean, we could also absolutely do that.
Andy, I have to change my pick because I forgot about one promo, and that's my number one.
Is it the Great Khali?
No. yeah, it is. You got me.
It says Great Khali versus The Undertaker promo where he goes,
It is Chris Jericho's promo from WCW, the man of 1,004 holds.
Oh, that's a fucking great one. I
don't
know if I can deny that. That might be my favorite.
So, to clarify, Isaac, in WCW, there's a wrestler by the name of Dean Malenko. And he's a fantastic wrestler who's known for being called the man of 1,000 holds. And he was a cruiserweight, so he's feuding with Chris Jericho. Part of that feud was Chris Jericho claimed to counteract that he is more than 1,000 holds. He's a man of 1,004 holds. He then pulled out a very long list of paper.
Like old school fucking printer paper.
Yeah, just lined out, and then he went to read all of them. He did not finish, of course, but he would then proceed to say, the armbar, the Canadian armbar, the Canadian backbreaker.
No, he didn't just do it like that. He said a couple, then he said armbar.
Yeah, he would say armbar
Canadian
like
armbar.
Yeah. I'm going to play it only because I've been playing some of these, and I had it open.
To be fair.
Yeah. To be fair, yeah.
I wonder what he thought about it.
Okay.
I mean, it's a really funny one.
Not going to play all 17 minutes of that.
Please don't, but yes, please play some.
Yeah.
So he does have a 1,004.
Kansas City with me? Yes. The event is Monday, May 11th for...
I'm going to have to find a better clip of it, because this is like part of an episode of Nitro, which is not what I want.
Isaac, you haven't seen jellyfish anywhere, have you?
No, Joe says he's found them, but they're very deep in the water. That being said, we have a way to get at them. As long as we can make scuba gear, which...
Yeah, we can.
Well...
I mean, we already have scuba gear.
Oh, do we? I was about to say, I haven't found silica yet.
Oh, my original base, the one you built a house in, that river is massively packed.
That's right, I did see that.
Like, it's fucking everywhere.
So...
No, I have scuba. On my foot, actually.
Now, I'm not quite sure where it is, but, Joe, as you probably saw, tamed a fuck ton of Sarcos, which are really good for, doing short diving with.
I watched a video about breeding the red, what is it, Megalodon? Oh boy. I need to get on that.
I need to breed Beezle Buffo.
That would probably be amazing. You can increase your movement speed, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, have you rode Bert yet?
A little bit, yeah. I do love frogs.
This guy specifically, I made to be fast. I've traveled between the 2 bases with this guy. Dude, just watch this. Just...
Where are you? Shit.
I'm not even running, I'm sorry.
Okay, here we go. Here's the promo. After...
I almost made it over the wall.
Which I will say, hilariously, he would beat a debuting Marty Jannetty, which was Shawn Michaels' old tag partner, before cutting this promo.
You definitely can get over the wall.
Oh, I do. That's just easy, though. I could clear the whole building.
Okay, so here is Chris Jericho's 1004 move.
Almost immediately as Jericho applied the Lion Tamer. Now what has he got?
Thank you. Thank you very much. You know, since I took care of Mr. Jannetty so quickly, I came prepared. Excuse me.
Yeah, he also got a cup of water because he's tired.
Malenko, you claim to be the man of 1,000 holes, but I counted, and you know about 60, but I know 1,004, and I wrote them all down. Here we go. Hold 1, arm drag. Hold 2, arm bar. Hold 3, the moss-covered, 3-handled family grenunzel.
Why doesn't he just mail us this list and we'll announce it?
Bar.
He just ran it.
5,
Yeah.
the Saskatchewan spinning nerve hole.
This must be meathead microphone night. You think so? He's got 998 to go. Get the hook. We're out of here. Shut up.
Number 10, right-handed.
I love that I heard armbar 3 times in the first 10.
Oh wait, when we come back from commercial.
714, the Canadian.
It's time for our second hour.
Yeah, and then he gets interrupted. 714.
He said a lot in that commercial break.
He actually said everything, or he just came back to that.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's such a good promo too.
Oh, hey, an ankylosaur up here. Sorry.
Yeah, Chris Jericho is pretty
God,
fucking
it's hilarious how he's never not been entertaining.
Actually,
throughout his entire
I'm gonna-
goddamn career.
You gonna get the ankle?
Yeah, because this guy was fucking sweet.
Hold on, hold on.
What?
Ah, fuck.
Isaac, how much time you got on here?
What do you mean?
I mean, today's Sunday, so what's on?
Okay, so, like, I did a lot of thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? Fuck that, I'm driving out tomorrow morning. I can make it, it's just... Huh?
Maybe you want to try to knock out a dragon.
Oh, absolutely. That was what I wanted to do yesterday, but I was going to do it with Joe, and Joe got off a lot earlier than I expected. That's what, like, half of this building was for. I won't say all of it, because, like, most of it, like, at least half of it was...
The whole reason I picked this spot.
It's the whole reason we also picked your spot, and we're happy to see you already had a forge and everything set up. Dude, come check out this ankylosaur, though. Like, this guy is fucking cool looking, dude. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with him. Use him to collect metal on that little island, I guess.
I don't know where you are. You just go up the hill, is it?
Yeah, I'm just up the hill past the trap. Dude, come take a look at this guy. That's one sick-looking ankylosaur.
I don't know why I was thinking the rolling things. Sonic the
Oh,
Hedgehog.
Dodecurus?
Yeah.
Well, you know, because one, there's a million.
I remember where every one of these fucking bases is, Zach, because I set my guns up to kill everything that moves.
Yeah. I expected it as such.
Well, all you had to do is avoid the entire... Oh, by the way, name all of your beds, please. Oh, so the problem we had was, because there's so many... There's now bases set up, or at least beds set up, at nearly every corner. And so many...
It's hard to get to the middle.
We just couldn't get to the middle. Joe couldn't respawn at this base. He needed me to rename the bed so that he could search it specifically.
Oh my god.
Like, the middle, like, 4 beds on the map, we just could not even get the cursor over.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate that you built that, but come look over here. This is where I was going to read to.
I mean, we could build another like small thing over here.
Well, do you see what I'm talking about? How this area's got a ceiling?
Oh yeah.
Like I thought about making this whole area.
That's not a bad idea. However, I will make one counter argument, which is that water source connects to the ocean, so you guys' boats can all get to and from the other bases.
The other problem with this whole base is rock golems.
Oh, there's rock golems out here?
Literally just past the trap I've seen twice.
Oh, I better tell Joe that, because I don't think he ever realized that.
Can you tame rock golems?
Yes.
Yes, what you do is, to my understanding, is you shoot them in the face with RPGs until they get knocked out.
Oh. I was hoping you fed them rocks.
You do, actually.
Oh, sweet.
But you still have to knock them out, and you can't knock them out with tranquilizer. So you have to
because
hit them with...
they have rocks for skin.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
so you have to hit them with
tiny darts
force.
Yeah, tiny darts do not break through rocks. I get that. That makes not unless you believe.
But the fact that you literally have to have a rocket launcher and shoot him in the face with rockets.
That's fucking
always
sick, bro.
cracks me up.
So we could do that once we start the Ragging Subversives.
Hell yeah, I'm so down.
All
right. Well, I'll have to reinstall Arc before I leave. I'll have to move some shit around.
So we're all. I'm gonna join you, and we're all gonna make new characters, and we're all just gonna fuck with our own bases.
All right. My only rule is we stay primitive.
How are we gonna stay primitive and use rocket launchers?
We'll use catapults.
So
that's gonna be hard.
I know.
I'm gonna clarify.
Now, when you say we, you mean just you, right?
No.
Okay.
I mean the tribe.
I want to clarify.
Nah, I'm just fucking around. I don't care.
I want to clarify.
Yes,
cannons also work.
See.
So if you count cannons as primitive enough, which they are classic like pirate ship cannons.
You're right. We need to be pirates.
Isn't there a game for that? Sea of Thieves?
I own that.
It's Ark, but pirates.
Yes. Well, it's nothing like Ark, but it does involve pirates, so sure.
Well, no, then.
But no, it is not Ark, but with pirates. It's a pirate game. There's no building or like anything like that.
My dad was telling me Conan is having a massive expansion. He's really excited about that. Because apparently Conan is another game that's very similar to Ark.
Yes, it is.
Oh no, I've been trapped. What will I do?
Yeah, I've been kind of waiting to finally start Sea of Thieves until got enough people to start playing it.
Andy. Andy. If you want, I was hesitant to stay there very long, but if you want, there should still be more materials for cryopods in the Red Obelisk. But I got there pretty late. I had not been in the area at all, so I didn't know what was going to show up. So I made a handful of cryopods, dipped out.
I've actually got a decent amount of cryopods made at my northern base.
Oh, really?
I don't know, like 15, 20 of them. I don't have a cryo fridge, though.
I mean, I do have a cryo fridge and cryopods down here.
Like, the fridge would be nice to make a couple of those. One for my boat, one for... I need like 4 of them.
You need to bring a few more materials, because I know that I only brought enough for the one. Although I did have some extras. I just kind of grabbed, like, 150 of everything I needed.
Yeah. It's the crystal that really weighs you down. It's really heavy.
Yeah, and you know these fucking griffins, they don't have... Like, my griffin's pretty jacked, all things considered, and he still only has 1,000 carry weight.
I mean, that's pretty good for a griffin if he still has good stamina.
Oh, he's got, well, my, you know, I leveled my griffin up specifically for my needs. So, he's got like 1,500 stamina at 1,000 carry weight.
I see what you mean, bro. I didn't even know you could do that in that game.
What?
Create griffins for your needs.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Very intuitive game.
I mean, the breeding is kind of
non-existent.
Non-existent? What are you talking about?
No, I meant like breeding griffins.
Yeah. Well, but in general, just a creature.
Like,
Sarah was...
You can make some freaky human griffin people?
No.
What? You said they fill your needs, bro. That's what I said, man. I didn't know that was in that game. This game's pretty crazy.
First rule is you don't get to make rules about Ark now.
I didn't make any rules. You're the one who said it. I didn't do nothing.
This Ankylosaur is actually going to be like, not jacked, but decently strong.
Like 130 when it's done, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It works out because, like, every time I find something cool that's a good color, it either dies or it turns out to be, like, level 20.
So, did you guys hear about the shooting at the mall?
Yeah. My fiance and one of my friends both worked there when it happened.
What was the story?
There was, right in front of the jewelry store, there was apparently some kind of something between two dudes, and one of them pulled a firearm and shot the other guy several times. Then caused, obviously...
It was an argument.
It was an argument?
Yeah.
So it was just some kind of dispute?
Said it, like, guy said...
They were, like, screaming at each other?
Stop being a bitch. Or something like that.
Yeah. It was just two dudes screaming at each other in the mall, and then one dude pulled a firearm and shot the other guy. Then...
Okay, because the guy at my work told me a totally wrong story.
Oh. Then yeah. What did they say happened?
They said it was a dude in a clown mask wearing a ripped up American flag.
No, can't say that happened.
I was like, holy shit.
He said apparently one of his coworkers heard it was some guy in a clown mask wearing a ripped up American flag. Yeah, no, that's wrong.
I don't know.
Maybe it was him. Was he there? Maybe he was.
Fascinating how.
So
it's fascinating how rumors work.
Yeah, that's an interesting theory. So no,
yeah,
it was something actually believable. It was something actually believable. That happened. Surprisingly. So yes, there was a shooting. Thankfully, like, unfortunately, only that guy did not make it. Unsurprisingly, since he was.
I was thinking when I heard this, I'm like, this is Indiana. I'm surprised he wasn't shot on sight with the amount of people with guns.
Well, I mean, for one thing, that would be illegal. You can't just shoot him.
If someone's got a gun and they're shooting it around,
they weren't. They shot the one guy and then booked it. And that was it. Well, there wasn't any other shots fired after that.
The story was the clown mask and everything.
Yeah, that part didn't happen. So
that like, if that was,
to clarify this,
in Indiana, you were getting blown away.
Okay, to clarify, because I've actually read the law on this. In Indiana, you are allowed to use lethal force in self-defense or defense of someone else's safety or property.
So if someone is shot and already dead, you're free. Yeah, property. Yeah, by the way, Indiana, you can, like, it's really easy to get away with shooting.
An armed gunman who has shot one person already is still an active threat to everyone around them.
Yes. But the place was heavily raided by police enforcement. It was locked down. People were evacuated for the most part. Everyone left in a big panic. But then after it was evacuated and started getting checked out, it was like totally died down. The guy has not been caught. And
Didn't catch him. Oh my god.
He probably left immediately. Like, I mean, he was right by the exit when this happened.
No, you think he went and bought more socks?
More socks?
Or whatever the fuck he was going to buy.
I don't know. They said they said he might have changed clothes and left. Apparently, is what people think happened.
Oh my god.
Alright, so what's the plan, Andy?
Well, I'm making a sandwich.
Alright, that's fair.
No, Maria, stop.
And then we will tame some griffins. I made a bunch of narcotic.
Griffins? More?
Or not griffins, okay, we're gonna go for a dragon.
Alright, how do you tame these tropical or crystal dragons? I don't know which one.
There's some work to this. First, we have to knock one out.
Okay, and then you gotta break its face.
Crystal wyvern, something out of it. As inventory, it's like dragon's milk. And then I don't know if you can feed it to the same one, but I don't think you can. But then you knock out another one.
Oh yeah, you know what I found out?
What's that, baby?
And put it in inventory, and you're good, I guess.
Oh, that's a. Well, at least they were on the other side of the building. Yeah, Ashley was literally still at FYE, which was like 2 stores down from when this happened. From where this happened.
Damn.
Yeah, she said they could very clearly hear the gunfire, and then the minute it happened, her supervisor just immediately said for them to go out the back and start funneling people out their back so they could get out safely. And then she helped her out, and then they all evacuated, and they were all safe. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Once I heard it was going on, I was at the comic book store and overheard it from just a few people. And then I tried to call her like 7 times until she finally got her, got to borrow her, supervisor's phone so she could contact me. I was very shaken, like I was freaking out for her.
How freaked out would you have been if you heard my story?
Which one?
The one I was told.
Oh, if it was a clown in a cape? I don't know, my first reaction would be I just wouldn't believe it. Then I probably would have audibly laughed like I did this time. Actually, I probably would have laughed when I first heard it, then I would have not believed it immediately after that. But then if it confirmed to be true, I would just been like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? But no, in this case it was just some dumbass, like, probably some ghetto-ass white kid or something, which is what from what some reports have said, is what it was. And yeah, so, I don't know, man.
No,
it ends up being Pop Tab.
Well, people were pictures
yeah.
that it might have been this guy that was in an orange hoodie.
Okay. Just some dude in an orange hoodie. Yeah, well, either way, I mean, it was pretty.
And that one guy who was saying on Facebook,
I'm gonna hang both of them up.
he was messing around.
So apparently these
I figured that was the case. I didn't believe it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then he's like, oh man, I shouldn't have done that. But then everybody's like, yeah, you just made yourself a suspect.
Yeah, so one dumbass has a joke posted online on Facebook saying, just shot this N-word and 4 times in the head. Like, and, you know, lived in the area and all that, and he, yeah, so he was just deemed a suspect and got contacted.
Good job,
police.
dumbass.
Yeah. And he just posted later saying, man, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah,
you shouldn't have done that, what the fuck?
I don't know what made you think that was a good idea.
Because it instantly makes you a instant suspect.
And besides that,
that's just in bad taste anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So, Andy, and I apologize for interrupting. Yeah, according to, because I'm reading up how to tame them, which, God, this is a fucking nightmare. You have to knock them out, steal their shit, and then passively tame them with same said shit.
Well, my thought was, knock them out, find an egg, and then you can feed it to the egg.
You can also do the normal method of just stealing their eggs.
Oh. Well, I'm saying you use it as food.
Fair.
Oh, and one thing about our earlier conversation, favorite segment also involves Chris Jericho, ironically.
Yeah, the Walls of Jericho.
That's a move, but no, my favorite segment is easily the Festival of Friendship.
That was pretty damn good.
Fucking, I remember watching that live, and it was goddamn hilarious. So Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho, literally Chris Jericho knowing, literally playing off the fact that he knows our relationship is over, but trying everything to salvage it, being being very funny. Then, finally, frickin' Kevin Owens gives him a gift, and he says it's another list, and everyone freaks out because it's hilarious and absolutely great. But then he says my name's on it. Dude, when he looked down and he said why is my name on it, I got chills. Instantly got actual chills. He pulls it up and it shows it is the list of KO. Dude, I lost it. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
It's so good. Too bad the payoff was not. It was sad. Bad.
Well,
led to a subpar, not good WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. It was unfortunate. It could have been great. It could have been great, but no, ends in a shitty match.
Why was the match shitty?
It was such a by the numbers Raw style match. It was just a normal simple wrestling match when it should have been a heated, violent feud because of what it led to. It led to a brutal attack on Jericho, but then their match was so normal. From what I hear, mid-match, it was either Owens or Jericho who broke a finger or something and kept working through the match, and it just kind of really bogged them down because of that. It limited what they could do, but the match itself was just kind of whatever anyway before that. So it was just a whole thing, a whole slew of things that caused it to just be pretty mediocre.
I like Kevin Owens. Love Chris Jericho.
Yeah, Kevin Owens is great. I just wish he'd have his moment in the sun that was more than just a moment. He's had many chances to have his big moments, and he tends to use them very well. The problem is they end up just being a moment, and then something goes wrong, or he isn't able to follow up on it very well. His IC title reign was great. His US title reign was great. His NXT title reign was amazing. His Universal title reign, though, had a lackluster ending. Honestly, he was a pretty great champion, and that was when the whole Chris Jericho stuff really got started. So that was pretty great too. So it was just a whole slew of. Anytime Owens gets that big momentum, it's just it's not even. I would say it's not even really WWE's fault. It's just one reason or another, they're just not able to follow up on it. So he's always felt like a big star in WWE. He just never really had the chance to be the top dog as champion or whatever for more than a couple months.
Big sad.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. At least he's had his chance. At least he's been Universal Champion. He's been the top guy. Because plenty of people can't even say
we're still talking about Jericho, right?
No, Kevin Owens. Jericho has been.
I was about to say.
No, Jericho's definitely had his time in the sun many times. I
would
never
say
yes.
Jericho's super popular, even overseas and shit.
Yeah, it's very much so.
First Universal Champion of WWE or something.
Fierce Universal Champion was Finn Balor.
Undisputed Champion.
Oh, the first WWE Undisputed Champion. Yeah, he was. That title reign really did suck. It was terrible. But when he left WWE, cut his hair, became a rock star for a while, came back in 2007 as code breaker Chris Jericho. Yeah, he was the top heel. He would instantly be world heavyweight champion. He'd be in a huge major feud against John Cena, and then against Edge. I mean, he's even main evented. He's never won like Royal Rumble or like Money in the Bank or stuff like that. But he's held several world titles. He's held pretty much every title in WWE at least once, almost without fail. And he's main evented WrestleMania. So I mean,
that should be his next thing. Is he wants to be the women's champion. He's won every title except that.
His current thing, now that he's an AEW, and you know, already was the first AEW champion, which he absolutely excelled at, because Le Champion is spec-fucking-tacular. Little bit of the bubbly and all, he's absolutely great. Love his faction. Like, I have no complaints about his AEW stuff at all so far. And yeah, and him. Now, like, he just finished up his huge feud with Orange Cassidy, which was also absolutely amazing. And now he's back teaming up with his, he's sticking with his teammates in the Inner Circle, and he's pairing up with Jake Hager, Big Hurt, currently undefeated Bellator MMA fighter. Which I also love that he literally, when he came out for one of his big championship matches at Bellator, he came out to his Inner Circle theme song, and the entire Inner Circle came out with him.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, like, no. He is, like, AEW for life, bro. Inner Circle for life. And,
okay, Andy, we need to figure out how to make this. I just saw this on Facebook. It's pizza, stuffed pizza, where like all the toppings are inside the crust. But it's buffalo mac and cheese pizza. And I eat that shit so fucking hard.
I got something for both of you to try.
What's
at
that?
Penn Station, they have I got this chicken parmesan, you add pepperoni to it. And it's like Hot Pocket, but it digivolved.
That sounds good. I unfortunately can't really do Penn Station. It really, I think it's too greasy. It makes me feel kind of like I can't.
That's how Pizza Hut and Domino's makes me feel.
I can have Domino's. I just don't like Pizza Hut. So I just don't have much Pizza Hut.
Oh yeah. By the way, Andy, I have tested this at full capacity. The AC units built into this house can take a full heat wave.
Good.
Like, because right before I got off last night, we had a heat wave that went up to 150 degrees.
Yeah,
if you stand,
ridiculous.
Yeah, if you stand in this main area here, you will be fine. I can't promise if you go up the stairs or anything, or even to like the far side of the room. But if you stand by the AC units, you'll at least live through it.
Yeah, the first time I experienced that, I was like trying to go in the water. I'm like, why the fuck is it so goddamn hot?
Yeah, I remember you told me about it. No, I take it back. I think I was actually on the phone with you.
Taskmaster.
Oh.
And you're just like, what the fuck? I'm in water.
Oh.
The water is 150 degrees.
But yeah, Jericho and Jake Hager, as part of the Inner Circle, have already said they are going to go after the World Tag Team titles.
Nice.
Which honestly, I could see them doing.
So, I'm kind of mad, but also really happy with Digimon right now.
Oh yeah? I still need to watch it. I still haven't watched a single episode since it came back.
With what?
Digimon.
Oh.
Digimon.
So, again, without going into any great detail, because I don't want to ruin any stuff for Zach, who actually likes Digimon.
Yeah, please don't. I definitely plan to watch it.
But they've gone through all the ultimate episodes, where the Digimon get their ultimate evolutions.
Yeah, which I knew was what they were about to do.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't count that as a spoiler because that's obvious.
I knew I knew that was what they were about to do, and obviously that was coming. So,
so they just finished up with yesterday's episode, and I'm like, man, Sora got like the fucking most boring one.
Oh yeah, you told me about that. That's
But like now, I've seen all of them. I've seen all of them.
So it further incited to the fact that she has the worst one.
Yes. Now that all 6 of the current cast, because TK and Kari haven't been in it yet.
Weird.
Now that all 6 of the main casts have had their time in the spotlight. Yeah. Fucking Joe's episode had the most jank animation and was still better because
it was written better.
Yeah, it was actually just written better. Like,
hey man, good writing can do a lot for any show.
And Izzy still gets the all-star treatment with like having some of the like at least coolest looking episodes, but also I think some of the more fun episodes.
I do like Izzy a lot, so that's fair. And I'm not really a fan of Joe's at all still. But it's kind of weird that still to this day, Sora has only been written well in the very original.
Now, okay, let me clarify. Sora has not been written badly. Like,
right, I said well.
Bad. Yeah. Sora's just had nothing really stand out happen with her. She hasn't acted terribly out of character or been like actively upsetting. It's just by comparison, because it's like they managed to write Joe and Mimi to be.
Dude, you were laying on earlier.
I didn't. I was laying on this side. I don't know what you're talking about.
They actually managed to write Joe and Mimi to be like actually like much more fun and active characters than they were in the original.
Because it's daytime, and I got like
Yeah, you were telling me about that too.
And yeah, Joe's episode kind of follows up on that, and I actually really like his episode. Aside from, again, it's probably one of the most jank-looking episodes in the series so far. Like, so many still images just getting drug across the screen and shit like that. Like, good old toy animation. We couldn't let that good animation last long.
Well,
that's the speed racer effects to this.
To be fair, it's a lot of it is because of what's going on. But yeah.
Well, okay, and I'm not saying the whole series looked good. This isn't like my complaints with Super, where like Super just consistently looked jank as fuck for a lot of its run. This looks good when it wants to, but it also has a couple episodes where it's like, ugh. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, Super only looks good when they give it the time to work on it.
Yeah. Super started looking like pretty good. It had a couple of pretty good looking episodes in Future Trunks arc.
Yeah.
Or at least good looking moments at the very least.
Yeah,
and
like
then Tournament of Power.
Punch.
Yeah, and then Tournament of Power was fairly consistently good looking.
Yeah, especially at the end. That final episode looks gorgeous.
Oh, absolutely. But even so, it had like some actual like legit good-looking episodes or good-looking scenes, even if they weren't as important. Like Super Saiyan God Goku fighting Kale and Caulifla.
Agreed.
But this one has very much been like,
had the first 3 episodes look great, and then everything else doesn't. Got it.
Well, in fairness, Digimon has the advantage over Dragon Ball Super, where Digimon never actually looked very good, aside from its movies.
And
Dragon Ball series, they've made so much fucking money. They have no excuse not to have a fucking.
Well, I mean, going back to Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, they do like the show looks great, but man, do they! If you go back, they cut a lot of corners.
Oh yeah, no,
there's a lot of jankiness.
This is my argument with why I still stand that Z broadly looks better, but I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah.
My argument being roughly that the direction of the original series played off the bad animation better.
Sure.
Like they used a lot of shortcut effects, like quick cuts and
thing.
Quick cuts. The teleporting thing.
They use that a lot in Z, especially.
like
where
hard shaky cam for like impacts and stuff, where it's like, yeah, this isn't like super good animation per se. It's not even necessarily good art, but it sells what it's trying to sell. My biggest problem with the action scenes, like Hit versus Goku, is like there is like no part of that fight that actually sells the impact of them fighting.
True. Until the rematch.
Again, later Super has plenty of good moments where they did sell impact. So I'm not saying it's something that was consistent. I'm mostly talking about like early on. Digimon, the new Digimon has somewhat of a similar problem, but not as bad. Where the original Digimon did work better around its really fucking shoestring budget, this one still doesn't work bad around it.
Oh.
What was it? So, dude, I had a fucking dumbass argument with Carl. It got overshadowed by him being extremely petty with me. But
So
I had a dumbass argument.
The usual.
Yeah, but this was actually just a dumbass. He was saying that the two scenes in Broly where they used CGI significantly damaged his opinion of the movie.
Wait, like Super Broly?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't see why.
I mean, I could understand not liking it, which is entirely valid. I didn't particularly like the CG, but it was in two scenes.
Yeah.
It was in two scenes, and the rest of it was incredibly crisp. But Carl was trying to argue they did it because they think it looks cool, and I'm like, no, they did it because it saved them a fuck ton of time
and money.
Yeah, well, time and money, same thing pretty much in this context.
Truth. But yeah, I was like it saved them like a fuck ton of time. Animating 2 minutes of CG will save you quite a lot in terms of hand-drawn and even
considering the frame rate of that movie being between 12 and like 24 frames a second, or frames of actual animation.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing is like fucking animated on 1s and 2s like the whole goddamn time. And so I'm like, yeah, dude, you don't. Carl literally does not understand how complicated a process animation is. He's like, oh, well, you know, they fucking add these ugly ass scenes to save them a little bit of time. I mean, yeah. Like, he's like, he literally said a few hours of time. And I'm like, dude.
A few hours? A few hours. Dude, that's like months.
Yeah, for that 4 minutes, I would say if it was one animator, it would be days, if not weeks, for that measly 4 minutes.
Yes. Dude, animating in general takes like over a year to make one project.
I'm talking just the animator, not the background artist or the fucking coloring guy or any of that shit.
Ooh, that hurt a lot. Yeah. No, I don't.
Just a guy doing the animation would take days, if not weeks. I'll be honest with you, Carl.
And that's before
I don't have the energy to teach you how. Carl, I don't know how to explain to you the entirety of the animation process and how it takes fucking forever. Like, I'll be honest, considering how much you like anime, even if it's only a handful of shows, considering your deep-seated love of those shows, I'm surprised you don't know this already. Like, yeah, early on in like the early 2000s or the late 90s, there were plenty of people who used 3D animation because it was easy, but also it looked cool to them because it was a new thing that they could do to make something pop and look weird.
Back then it looked way worse.
On your phone. No.
Oh yeah, it looked awful.
I'm texting these.
But I'll agree, those CGI scenes aren't my favorite, but they were far less, like, they did, the CGI scenes actually did bug me in Battle of Gods, but even there,
Battle of Gods and in Resurrection F, they're actually just really fucking obnoxious.
I was way more upset in Resurrection F. Battle of Gods, to be fair, it's only in like one scene, it was annoying to me.
But I'm like, dude, it's two scenes when Goku and Vegeta fight Broly, which is not important.
Dimension. The one scene where they fight in like the lava pit kind of thing.
Yeah, and they're like basically trying to get away, and they fucking dump his ass on Frieza. And then the alt dimension thing where it actually plays to them kind of having broke reality for a moment.
Because they have too much power. Which I also think is actually a nice touch, because Beerus holding back and Super Saiyan God Goku were breaking reality by punching each other. And that hadn't been brought up once since then.
Yeah.
So I think these guys, who are astronomically stronger than that fight, I think that's a nice touch of continuity that Dragon Ball never has. Ever. Not even, Dragon Ball, not Z, never has that strong continuity.
No, not at all. But yeah, that's it goes to Carl how much he can fucking piss me off with dumb shit.
Jesus
that I
Maria.
can completely forget a huge thing like that. Like, just such a hugely stupid fucking argument. Like, you gotta understand, dog. These motherfuckers gotta animate. If this is on 1s and 2s, for every second of screen time, that is 12 to 24 brand new fucking images.
Yes.
Like
per second.
Per second. So if we're talking about a whole minute of animation on 1s, we're talking 240 pictures drawn, colored, fucking backgrounds, everything.
Hell, if you look at even just a professional artist, it takes well over an hour to draw one picture.
Now,
if you're putting your full into it.
Yeah, I was about to say, animators generally get around that by using a lot of different techniques.
Yeah. It's just those techniques are required because of how long it takes to animate things.
Yeah.
Especially because they also have to deal with like companies who say this has to be done at this time and this and that.
Now, granted, it works out well for the animators if they can keep up the pace, because most, I'd say half, if not 3/4 of animators in Japan are paid by frame.
Yeah, that's another thing. Animators don't make jack shit.
Yeah.
But my point earlier is Dragon Ball Z does, and they have the ability to pay people.
Well, Shueisha owns
them.
that, and Shueisha is notorious for bad business practices all the way back since the 1960s.
To clarify also, Andy, money is one thing, time is another. Super probably had the money to look good. It just didn't want to waste the time waiting for episodes to be made.
Because you gotta remember, man, that show was made on a week-by-week basis.
Yeah.
Which is insane, since animating one episode of any show would take like a month to look good. Which is honestly why a lot of artists actually defended Super, because they showed this is me drawing Goku, and I gave myself and this took me I think they showed it and it took them 12 hours or something, and it looks like crazy good. And then this is how much time I had to draw it they took like a month, I think. And this is how it looks if I took a week. This is how much I took for a day, and it's just showing this is how much detail and how bad it would look. Even the greatest artists in the world, if you give them no time to work, it's not going to look very good.
It also depends on the style of animation, which is why I argue with people who are who always talk shit about the new Steven Universe style of art for animation. I'm like, dude, you don't understand. Man. It's simple. They can animate, they can draw way more frames with simpler character designs like this. Things can move constantly. You want to talk about look at old Scooby-Doo versus new Scooby-Doo. Okay, new Scooby-Doo art style, if the pictures I've seen are accurate, no, it's actually fucking ugly. So they're entirely validated. But you don't understand. Scooby-Doo back in the day, they would recycle frames constantly, and half of the fucking show would just be them standing still and tilting their head back and forth in the same motion. With
also, if you look at some of those shows, those look terrible. I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Dude, Hanna-Barbera is notorious for having really weird character designs and animation.
I mean, at the time, I guess they were...
Yeah, sure, they looked great for their time. They actually look... Honestly, looking back on it, they look amazing for their time. Some of those are made in, the 1960s.
Yeah.
That shit's that is insane. But
don't take this as me trying to shit on Scooby-Doo.
No.
I'm just making a comparison first.
I'm just saying the same. I'm like, I agree that it's weird to compare these because biggest thing, how they are made is drastically different.
I mean, they even poke fun at them on like the shows themselves, like Space Ghost. It costs the studio $17 to move my arm.
Yeah,
Zorak
because literally, well, one thing that's hilarious to me still is the very first show made in-house by Cartoon Network was Space Ghost Coast to Coast. And it was made from 7 unused frames of animation from Space Ghost, the old cartoon show. And that's it. And that's why they don't move, they don't do anything, and why Space Ghost Dad, played by Macho Man Randy Savage, is just the same cell of animation, tilted and added a beard on top of it. And it looks like it doesn't
that's my grandpa.
It also doesn't look like it belongs there either, because it's clearly drawn separately. Because it's made with different color and everything. Like, that show
that's also
somehow worked. But yes, that's like the point, is they used a lot of different techniques and it's one of the cheapest produced shows of all time.
I mean, didn't they use, not to the same extent, but Harvey Birdman?
No, Harvey Birdman was like did reuse some old stuff, but that one was mostly fully animated. They all had unique cells animated.
I fucking love Space Ghost.
Yeah, Space Ghost was one of my favorite. I actually got to meet Space Ghost from that show, that actor.
What? That's awesome.
Yeah, he was in town for a local comic book convention. He was kind of weird, honestly, but like he was nice.
I would hope so.
Well, because like he seemed like, I don't know. It felt like he didn't want to be there, which I guess is fair. But most people who I've run into at events who clearly don't want to be there tend to be more money hungry, and he didn't come off that way. He just seemed like he just wanted to leave and get out as soon as possible.
I don't blame him, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Like, he was scheduled for only one panel. Like, other than that, he was just signing autographs, getting paid, sign autographs. I did. I was there. Yeah, no, he didn't show up for his panel.
I looked this up. What's sad is the voice actor who did Moltar and Zorak has died.
Oh yeah, he passed away long while ago. Actually,
we'll never get more of that.
The voice actor for Moltar and Zorak passed away a long time ago.
Yeah, that was
like early 2000s.
Something like that.
It was like 2000, 2002, 2004. It was somewhere around that time.
But going back a little bit, this is kind of probably why honestly Digimon fares a lot better. The new Digimon fares a lot better than like Dragon Ball or Sailor Moon with their newer shows.
High expectations.
The expectations weren't high, but also the character designs were made very intentionally simple.
Yeah, true.
Like, most of the Digimon characters have very, like, flat-colored clothes with, like, very little detail on them.
Yeah, they have, like one logo or something on it, and that's it. They're like a thing.
They're well-designed, but they're simple.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're a lot easier to animate.
Oh, one more thing. I think
I have a weird dragon taming idea.
Let Zach go first and tell me.
Oh, he died in 2016. Wow, that was way later than I thought. Anyway,
Zach, what were you going to say real quick before we change topic?
Yeah. So at that convention, that panel. He just didn't show up for it. I really wanted him to because I was really excited because it sounded hilarious. So I also got to meet Phil LaMarr there. If you know who Phil LaMarr is, one of the best American voice actors of all time.
Amazing.
Voice of
I didn't know
Static
you
Shock.
Phil LaMarr. That's cool.
Oh, he was so nice. God damn, is that man funny.
Phil LaMarr's the guy who does like
he's
the Jamaican dude from Futurama, Hermes.
Yeah, he plays Hermes Conrad.
Samurai Jack.
He's Samurai Jack. Static Shock. Green Lantern in Justice League. Yeah, he plays a lot of characters, and he's fantastic in pretty much every one of those roles. So the point was, it was actually the panel was supposed to be Space Ghost interviewing Samurai Jack, and I was just really excited for that.
That would have been awesome.
But he didn't. The guy who played Space Ghost didn't show up for the panel, so they just kind of delayed for time until they just decided Phil LaMarr just said, "I'll take care of it," and then he just did like a Q&A while talking about his history and voice acting, which was just as interesting because Phil LaMarr is amazing and dude's been in voice act for a long time, so he had a lot to talk about.
Still, that would have been awesome.
Also, man, what a humble guy. He actually didn't think he belonged when he joined the team for Justice League. He actually apparently auditioned for a few different roles, including Batman, but didn't think when he found out like teams like Kevin Conroy and then were on there, like it was pretty crazy. But he's great, very fantastic. But I'll also say I'm gonna get off though, but I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay.
So yeah, but bye guys. Probably. Later. So yeah, guys. So yeah, thanks for joining us, and as always, don't forget to stay lucky, and we'll see you at the next one. Bye.